All right. What's up, people? We about to get this thing started here, about to kick it off. And we should have a good time, man. So again, I want to welcome you guys to the latest episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday, guys. And we're definitely going to talk about something here real quick. But like I said, man, give you guys a few minutes to get up in here. Then we'll get it rolling. And we'll just talk about, man, the prospective free agents that I think the Steelers need to go after or what have you. So, I'll give my quick thoughts on that. And then we'll be out of here, man. Not a whole lot to talk about, guys. Obviously, since the Steelers are not playing football right now, since we don't have a dog in the race right now, it's not a whole lot to talk about, right? So, like I said, we'll just talk about real quick, man, about some of the free agents and some of the guys I think the Steelers need to target, who I think they may take a look at, and then we'll be out of here. So, I'll give it a few minutes, wait for a few of you guys to get up in here, and then we'll get started. I hope everyone is having a good night, man. How you guys doing? Hope everybody's doing their thing tonight, having a good evening, spending time with your family or what have you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started here in a minute. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. What's up, Donald Marshall? What's up with you, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. So let's jump right into it, shall we? Now, here are the positions that I think the Steelers could possibly look at in free agency. Now, I don't know if this is for certain. I have no way of knowing that. This is just what I think. This is what I think they'll do. We definitely need help at inside linebacker, okay? Everybody knows that, right? Definitely need help at inside linebacker. But what do I think we also are going to look at? Obviously, free safety, okay? Now, here's another position I think that the Steelers may look at as well. Will be running back. And it will pretty much be based on, what Le'Veon Bell plans to do, whether Le'Veon Bell is going to sign or whether they're going to franchise tag him. I've already talked about my opinion on that, on whether they should tag him or not. We'll see how that goes. And whether he gets a deal done, I don't know. You got to think, man, last year it was reported that Le'Veon Bell would make $12 million per year. Turned it down, okay? He played on a 12.5 tag this past season. You would think, that his market value may be a little higher in terms of his mind. He's going to say, nah, I want to at least get 15. You just have to believe that. And I just feel like I don't know if the Steelers are going to be in a position where they want to spend that much money on a running back. If they were only willing to offer a certain amount last year, what actually changed? What's going to make them feel differently this year? I don't think the Steelers budge and they overspend. We know as Steelers fans they're not going to do that. So I think what it's going to come down to is either they're going to put him on the tag, and I think if it comes down to the tag, I don't know if the Steelers are going to pay that this time. It's either going to be that, right? Or what's going to happen is Le'Veon Bell is going to walk, or Le'Veon Bell may decide to sign for a lesser deal. Maybe they reach a deal at 13 or, per year, what have you. I don't know. But I think the Steelers will also look to get a guy in free agency, considering the Bell situation as well as considering where James Conner is or isn't, okay? So let's take a look at that, guys. So what we're going to do first, we're going to look at inside linebackers. Let's see who's out there. And I'm just going to read off a couple names, man. And you guys can definitely, throw some names in the hat, and we'll chop it up for a little bit, talk about that. But if we look at inside backers, all right? Now, they have Navarro Bowman, which I think Navarro Bowman might be a guy that could be serviceable, man. We know what he did in his years at the 49ers. Didn't really get a chance to look at him with the Raiders. Once he was let go, the Raiders quickly picked him up. I don't know where he is. He's 30 years old, so I don't think you hang your hat on that. You're kind of looking at a Lawrence Timmons situation when he was 30, okay? Then you got Mason Foster. I'm a little familiar with him, but again, this guy's 29 years of age. He's at the Washington Redskins. A guy like Avery Williamson, 26 years old, played at the Titans. Demario Davis, inside backer for the Jets. He's 29 years old. Todd Davis, an inside linebacker for the Broncos at 26. Basically what they're saying about him is he is a younger linebacker and has been a big part of the Denver's outside run defense. But unfortunately, it says he's been routinely abused in coverage. So there you go. Is this the type of guy that the Steelers would look for? John Bostick, most of us are familiar with him, played at the Colts. A quick review on him, they said, he was a disappointment as a second-round pick in 2013, but he finally performed somewhat well the past season, handling the run well, okay? They say he was still a liability in coverage. So there you have it. Then you got Kevin Minter. I'm sure most of us are familiar with him. Currently with the Bengals. Gerard Hodges from the Saints. He's 27 years old. I'm not too familiar with Hodges. And then if you start reading a little bit further down, I mean, it gets a little weaker in terms of the stars that these guys are rating. And I'm basically looking at it, guys, on walterfootball.com is where I'm just looking to get this list. So you got Corey Toomer from the Chargers at 29. Carlos Dansby, 36 years old. Preston Brown is 25 years old, played with the Bills. If there was a Brown that we should have got, I think we should have jumped on Zach Brown last year. He sat out there for an extremely long time before the Redskins got him. And then you got Remy Wilson. He's a restricted free agent for the Chiefs, 26 years old. And that's probably the youngest you're going to get. Everybody else, man, is either, 27 and up. The next youngest guy, let me see, 25-year-old Justin March Lilliard, inside linebacker for the Cowboys. I know nothing about him. But there you have it. So based off of those guys that I read, I don't know if you all are familiar with these guys. Do you think Steelers get one of these guys in free agency? Because I really believe that the Steelers definitely are going to get somebody in free agency, whether it's an inside backer or a free safety. It's going to come down to what position they can get and what value they can get at free agency. Because I don't think, and I'm sure they don't think that they're going to get both of the guys they want or three of the guys that they want in the draft. You don't know that going in, so you might have to take a run at one of those positions. We could arguably, we could definitely say, guys, that the Steelers could use more than one inside backer, so you would expect maybe two in the offseason, one coming via free agency, the other one coming in the draft. Now let's take a look at safeties, okay? So the first guy they got up here, that's Morgan Burnett, safety, 29 years old, and I'm looking at specifically free safeties. For the most part, I typed in free safeties, but it kind of just gave me safety. So I don't know. Can't really recall which one of these guys are free safeties or not, but just give you the top safeties. Because, even if we're able to get a strong safety, maybe you do some things. Maybe you work Sean Davis at strong safety at free safety, or maybe move one of these guys that you might get in free agency that could perhaps be a strong safety, maybe move him to free safety. But anyway, you got Morgan Burnett, 29 years old. Lamarcus Joyner from the Rams, kind of familiar with him, 27 years old. Pretty solid player. Ricardo Allen, a safety from the Falcons, 26 years old. He's a restricted free agent. The little report they have on him, they says that he is a talented, well-rounded safety, and he won't even turn 27 until December. He should have at least 5 more great years, so he's due for a big contract next offseason. So maybe the Steelers look at a guy like that. I don't know. You got Kenny Vaccaro, who's listed as a safety, and he can play a little bit of corner as well. 27 years old. Eric Reed, he's relatively young as well at 26 years old. But, Eric Reed didn't continue his progress upward, in my opinion, from when I first knew about him. From like the first 2 years he got in the league, I didn't really see much improvement, even though I don't really watch the 49er games, so I don't know. I could kind of be missing the mark there. I'm just saying I don't recall him being a big threat beyond those first 1 or 2 years. And it said that he missed 12 games in the past 2 seasons. And it says, but he is talented, not to grade highly. He says he does miss tackles, but happens to be excellent in coverage. So it could be some give and take there. What do we need in our backfield as far as the defensive backfield? We need a cover safety. So maybe a guy like that, you might be able to get him. I mean, he's 26 years old. He is a hitter. Maybe you can help improve his tackling, which, my goodness, man, a lot of our team right now defensively, especially in the secondary, these guys are not great tacklers either. So maybe you take a chance at that and hope you can improve his tackling. We'll see. Trey Boston. Now, Trey Boston is interesting, guys. Trey Boston is 25 years old. Now, I think Trey Boston is a serviceable safety, but this is what I want you to keep in mind. He did visit with the Steelers this past offseason. You guys remember that? So it looks like he may have signed maybe a year deal, I think, with the Chargers, because I definitely remember Trey Boston visiting with the Steelers. So maybe they revisit that situation. Maybe they contact him and say, hey, What about now? Would you reconsider coming to the Steelers? I don't know. I don't know what they saw in him, so I don't know if the interest was that high. But keep that, that name in the back of your mind, because again, being that they've met with him before, this could be a simple phone call saying, hey, we still got some interest in you. How about coming back in? You never know. All right, then they got Marcus Gilchrist from the Texans. He's 29 years old. Tyron Branch, 31 years old. Tavon Wilson from the Lions, I'm familiar with him, 28 years old. Cody Davis from the Rams as well, 29 years old. All right, and then as you get further down the list, at number 11, they have Bradley Mcdougal. Mcdougal, I think I'm saying his name right. Looks like it's spelled a little awkward, but from the Seahawks, 27 years old. Reggie Nelson, 34 years old. Terrence Brooks is 26 from the Jets. I don't know much about him. But then it kind of goes down from there, man, as far as ranking. Let me see if I recognize any of these guys' names here. Number 32, they got Shamarko Thomas. Let's see who else. If there's anybody else I kind of familiar with. Darius Butler from the Colts, 32 years old. Worst thing you want to do is get older. Steven Terrell, he's a safety from the Chiefs. I mean, I'm not too familiar with him, but he's 27. But you kind of see the theme where I'm going here, and I'm hoping the not the Patriots. I said Patriots because I'm looking at this guy, Brandon King, who's 25. He's a safety, and he's a restricted free agent. Doesn't look like he graded too high as far as his ranking. But the theme is, guys, you want to keep that age relatively low. You don't want to get older. Definitely don't want to do that. You definitely don't want to get a guy that's older than Mike Mitchell, okay? Now, let's take a look at running backs, guys. Now, this one is kind of important here because, again, the Steelers are definitely going to, I feel like, address safety and inside linebacker. And I strongly feel like it's going to come from the draft, but one of those positions I feel like would more than likely be, it would also come from free agency. But we also need to take a look at running back, and maybe they grab a free agent running back, if the best talent is out there. So obviously, number one, they got Le'Veon Bell. We know the situation with that. Either he's going to sign, possible tag, or they might let him go because we need a whole lot of other things. And if you look at guys, I mentioned this last week, but to be brief, you look at guys like Alvin Kamara, Kareem Hunt, just to name a few, it shows that you can definitely get a productive back out of the draft. So do you pay a back $15 million or more? I don't think so. All right, so number 2, Dion Lewis will be a free agent. Carlos Hyde, he's 27 years old. Here's an interesting name that I'm going to throw at you, and they got him at number 4. Isaiah Crowell. He's only 25. I like the way he runs. He could be a serviceable type of back for the Pittsburgh Steelers as far as ground game. Now, of course, I don't know if he's that good out of the backfield as far as catching, but just think about the run game we're trying to employ and trying to improve our runs. A guy like Crowell could definitely be serviceable. If Le'Veon Bell is back, Crowell could definitely be a number 2 guy. You know what I mean? So keep an eye on a guy like that. Rex Burkhead is 28. He's going to be a free agent as well. Be interested to see if the Patriots re-sign either one of those guys, Burkhead or Lewis. They don't seem to hold on to running backs too long. Here's another guy, man, that has some pop and some shiftiness, and I would love to take him as a backup. Jerick McKinnon from the Vikings. I wouldn't be opposed to that as well if Le'Veon Bell is still there and this guy's your number 2. Alfred Morris, 29 years old. Always got a special place for Alfred Morris in my heart, man, because I actually had a chance to meet this guy, one of those years. I think it was 2 years ago. It wasn't last year, the year before, down at EA Sports, doing the Madden thing. And he actually happened to be there that week and hung out with us, so it was kind of cool. Very good dude, man. Him and his wife, she was pregnant at the time, good people. So I'm always going to have a special place for Alfred Morris, but he'll be 29 years old. He is 29 years old, rather. Here's another interesting one, a Jeremy Hill, 25 years old. Could be serviceable behind a Le'Veon Bell. See what I'm saying? So keep your eyes on that, guys. And, they got LeGarrette Blount at number 9. He's definitely not going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Thomas Rawls. Here's another 25-year-old guy who's capable, has had some injury issues. But again, if we're thinking Le'Veon Bell will be there, think about backup. If we're thinking about a guy that's going to take over for Le'Veon Bell, if Bell is gone, I'm thinking draft. You know, you go with a young guy. And then they have Orleans Dakwa, the guy from the Giants, excuse me. He's 26 years old. I don't know much about him as well. I've seen him play a couple games. Seems to be decent, but I don't know much about him. So there you have it. And other guys, man, you know, nobody jumping off of the list. You know, Kristen Michael, Mike Davis, Jamal Charles at 31 years old with his injury history. Ken John Bonner from the Eagles. Benny Cunningham, Shane Vereen. A lot of these guys are a lot older. Darren Sproles at 35. I think maybe Darren Sproles retires after that injury, you know, being 35 years old. And, you know, you got Andre Ellington, guys like that. The only other guy that's relatively young, I don't even really know these guys. Well, I know one of them. I do remember Bishop Shanky and Capri Bibbs. I don't know who that is from the Redskins. He's 25. All right, so just giving you a quick idea on that. So let me take a look and see what you guys are saying, man. Like I said, I didn't have a whole lot to talk about in this particular show. You know, not a whole lot of news. And we're definitely going to get into drafts and things like that. I know a lot of you guys are asking for that, man. But, you know, at this point, you know, we got to start watching some tape and, you know, kind of look at some of those things before I can really give you a mock draft. You know, it's way too early for me. You know, combine hasn't even happened. So, you know, right now we'll just be finding little bits and pieces and things to talk about as we lead closer to that. So I just wanted to cover the free agent situation tonight. And again, I don't know, man. Maybe it's not running back, free agent, or perhaps, free agent, running back, free safety, or one of those positions, you know, inside backer. Maybe they don't go that way. I just think I would look there first. You know, but they could very well go D-line, you know, like they did with Tyson Oluolu. Very well go tight end, you know, like they did with Vance McDonald. But I just think, I really feel like that free safety and inside backer, one of those will get some attention in free agency. I just feel like that's going to happen. So, all right, I got a few more minutes here, guys. Maybe about 5 minutes, if that. Let me see what you guys are talking about real quick. Bebop, yeah, I'm streaming tonight, man. I'll definitely be on my game and stuff tonight. I don't know if it's going to be Madden or 2K or it might be UFC. You know, just not sure what I'm feeling yet. Should be around 8 p.m., somewhere around there, maybe 8:30-ish. You said we should get Poe from the Falcons. Not opposed to that. Depends on how much he's going to cost. We definitely need another run stopper. Daniel McCullers is probably gone. You definitely want to get some help behind Javon Hargrave, so not opposed to that at all. Sin, the producer, says, do you think the Steelers should draft Earl Thomas since he's a free agent? Well, we can't draft a free agent. But yeah, if Earl Thomas is out there, it depends on how much he's going to cost. But yeah, I didn't even see him on this list. So I don't know if the list is right or wrong. You know, it's the internet. Most of these names, I'm familiar with them being free agents. But yeah, if Earl Thomas is out there, why not? You know, why not? You know this is a cover guy. And we just ask him to do that. If the right price is there. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. And Earl Thomas is a little, you know, he's a little bit older. I think he's still under 30 if I'm not mistaken. But, you know, he has to be at least 27, 28. But yeah, I'll take a chance on him, man, if he's out there. Let's see. What else? Kelvin Colbert says, move Davis to free safety and get rid of Mitchell. Possible. You know, we'll just have to see. You know, because if we do that, then we have to consider who's going to be the strong safety. So it's easy for us to say that. But until I see more talent on the field, on the roster rather, from our safety spots, I don't know. You know, who do we put in Sean Davis' spot? Do we draft a guy? So it's a lot of questions there. But, you know, I'm not opposed to moving maybe Sean Davis around, see what else he could do. Still Gunplay says Bowman. Yeah, I'll take Bowman, man, as a backup guy. You know, a rotate guy. I don't think he's a starter if we get a solid inside backer in the draft, which I think they go there maybe in the first or second round. But, yeah, I'll take him. Let's see. Somebody says Trey Boston. Yep. Oh, and if I'm not mistaken, guys, I think C.J. Mosley will be a free agent as well. I think. I could be wrong with that, but if I'm not mistaken, I remember him coming in along with Shazier. So unless Mosley has like a 5th-year option or something like that, he might be a free agent as well. We'll see. But I would love to have a C.J. Mosley if he's available. Let's see what else. Kadeem Williams says he thought Zach Brown. He might be. I don't know. I just know he signed with the Redskins last year, so he could very well be a free agent again. I'm not sure. Definitely should target. I like Minkah Fitzpatrick, but guys, you got to remember, will these guys still be there? We picked number 28, so we'll see. We'll see as we get closer to the draft and some of the the industry guys have mock-ups because a lot of times they hear talk in the background and they kind of know where teams are going, but we'll see. No, I'm not really a fan of bringing TJ Ward in. I don't know. I like TJ Ward, but I mean, I don't know. Does TJ Ward give us what we want right now? We got to look outside of the Mike Mitchell-esque type of safety, like a guy that can hit. And I'm not saying that TJ Ward can't cover, but TJ Ward to me has never been the guy that jumps off of the table in terms of coverage. The Steelers, in my opinion, need to go away from the normal free safety that we've had for the last several years, even going back to Ryan Clark. We need a ball hawk type of guy. We need a center fielder, a real center fielder. Shout outs to my man Cody, man. Hit me with the donation. This guy's unbelievable, man. Make sure you guys give him a shout out. Always donating, man. I appreciate that, man. Definitely appreciate that. And people have been saying I should tell guys, if you're in the business of donating, guys, you could do so right there in the chat. Just click the little money sign, and it'll walk you through the steps there. And again, that's if you want to. I'm not asking for any of that. But a lot of my viewers have been saying, hey, man, you should tell people how to donate. So there you have it. See my boy Tony up in here. Yeah, Tony, you already know. Me and you on the same page. A guy like Isaiah Crowell would be pretty interesting in the backfield, man. As a red zone threat. I see Cookie Boy Bray says that. Yeah, just being a backup guy behind Bell, that could be a little dangerous. Now, if Bell leaves, we're talking about a whole different story. All right, so I only got about 2 more minutes, guys. I got to be out of here, man. My wife has to come kick me out of my man cave to do her business here. But let me see what else you guys are saying. Yeah, Steel City 43 says Ward ain't all that. Yeah, I don't think he is either, man. Well, keep in mind, Steel City, Alu is not a starter anyway. Alu is already a backup guy. So, our main 3 guys up front is Hargrave, Tuitt, and Haywood. And I definitely like what Alu gave us when he came in the game, serviceable backup. And we got him for the cheap. So it's very possible the Steelers do that again. They could go D-line. They could go anywhere. I just feel like the areas of importance would be definitely free safety, definitely inside backer, possibly running back. And we'll see. Maybe they surprise us and go somewhere else in free agency, and then we'll see what happens in the draft. All right, so what's up, Kenya Wright? Shout outs, man. I was about to sign off, but I'm glad my man is in here, man. This guy, love his comments, man. He's very, very knowledgeable about the Steelers and football and prospects in general, so pay attention to him. Let's give him a shout out. He knows what he's talking about, and I'm always glad when I can catch him, man, and he's able to join or, be a part of the live show. So what's up to you? But all right, man, let me go ahead and get out of here, man. I got to go. I got to run. Be back at you guys next week, obviously. Yeah, and that should do it for this particular show, particular episode, and we'll find something else to talk about next week. And, yeah, man, we got to watch this Super Bowl without our Steelers, man, and I know it's going to hurt us, man, but we'll get through it. So if you haven't already, man, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell, man. Click the notification so you're fully aware when the next video is up. And I promise, guys, it'll never hurt you to hit that like button. And for you guys that are wondering here for the gaming side, I will be back here a little bit later. Again, probably around 8 p.m., 8:30 at the latest. Not sure which game I'm going to play yet, but yeah, I'll be back streaming for you guys on that front. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Catch you guys later. Here we go, Steelers, into the offseason. All right, man. Holla at y'all later. Peace.